Hello! Today we're going to review the fundamental rules to obtain your motorcycle license in Pennsylvania. PennDOT has specific requirements around helmets, safety courses, and riding technique, so let's get prepared for you to pass that exam on the first try. Here are the key questions for the Pennsylvania Motorcycle License Exam. What agency issues motorcycle licenses in Pennsylvania? The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, PennDOT. PennDOT handles all motorcycle licensing, testing, and renewals in the state. Let's continue. What is the minimum age to apply for a motorcycle learner's permit in Pennsylvania? 16 years old. The learner's permit is your first step, but it comes with important restrictions you must follow. Next question. What is required before a Pennsylvania resident can obtain a motorcycle license? Pass a knowledge test, obtain a learner's permit, then complete a skills test or an approved safety course. Every step builds on the last. There are no shortcuts to a full motorcycle license in Pennsylvania. Let's move on. What is the PennDOT approved motorcycle safety course that can waive the skills test? The Motorcycle Safety Foundation MSF Basic Rider Course, or a PennDOT approved equivalent. Completing the course not only waives the skills test, it makes you a significantly safer rider from day one. Continuing. What restriction applies to a motorcycle learner permit holder in Pennsylvania? Cannot ride at night, cannot carry passengers, and cannot ride on highways. These restrictions exist because new riders need time to build skill before facing those higher risk situations. Next point. What is the minimum age to ride a motorcycle without a learner permit restriction in Pennsylvania? 18 years old for a full unrestricted motorcycle license. At 18, with the proper experience or course completion, you can ride without restrictions. Let's keep going. What does a Class M license in Pennsylvania authorize? Operating a motorcycle or motorized pedal cycle on public roads. The Class M is your dedicated motorcycle credential. It must be on you every time you ride. Next question. What is the helmet law for motorcycle riders in Pennsylvania? All riders must wear a DOT-approved helmet unless they are over 21 with 2 years of experience or have completed an approved safety course. If you don't meet those exceptions, the helmet is required by law, not optional. Let's continue. What type of helmet meets Pennsylvania requirements? A DOT Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard 218 approved helmet. Look for the DOT sticker on the back. Without it, the helmet does not meet the legal standard. Next point. What is the eye protection requirement for Pennsylvania motorcycle riders? Required unless the motorcycle has a windscreen that provides equivalent protection. Wind, debris, and insects at speed are serious hazards. Eye protection is your first line of defense. Let's move on. What is the lane position rule for motorcyclists in Pennsylvania? Motorcycles are entitled to the full use of a lane and no vehicle may deprive them of it. You own that lane. No car may crowd you, squeeze you, or share your lane without your consent. Continuing. What is lane splitting and is it legal in Pennsylvania? Riding between lanes of traffic, and it is illegal in Pennsylvania. No matter how slow traffic is moving, lane splitting is prohibited. Stay in your lane. Next question. How many motorcycles may legally ride side by side in one lane in Pennsylvania? 2 motorcycles may share a lane, riding abreast. 2 side by side is the legal maximum. 3 or more abreast in a single lane is a violation. Let's keep going. What is the safest lane position within a lane for a motorcycle? The left third of the lane, for visibility and to avoid road debris and drains. The left third puts you in the sight line of oncoming traffic and keeps you away from the most common road hazards. Next point. What causes most single-vehicle motorcycle crashes? Rider error, including running wide in curves and target fixation. Most crashes don't involve another vehicle. Skill, focus, and proper technique are your best protection. Let's continue. What is target fixation and why is it dangerous? The tendency to steer toward whatever the rider focuses on, causing crashes when looking at obstacles. Look where you want to go, not at what you want to avoid. Your motorcycle follows your eyes. Next question. What is the correct braking technique on a motorcycle in Pennsylvania? Apply both front and rear brakes simultaneously, with more pressure on the front brake. Both brakes together, front brake doing most of the work. That combination gives you maximum stopping power. Let's move on. What percentage of a motorcycle's stopping power comes from the front brake? About 70%. The front brake is your most powerful stopping tool. Learn to use it confidently and progressively. Continuing. What should a rider do if the front wheel locks during braking? Release the front brake immediately, then reapply more gradually. A locked front wheel means zero steering control. Release it instantly and reapply with more control. Next point, what is the correct body position when cornering on a motorcycle? Keep the motorcycle leaned and the body slightly upright, pressing down on the outside foot peg. Let the motorcycle do the leaning. Your body position helps maintain traction through the curve. Let's keep going. What is counter steering and when is it used? Pushing forward on the inside handlebar to initiate a lean, used at speeds above 12 miles per hour. At speed, counter steering is how motorcycles turn. Push left to go left, push right to go right. Next question. What is the recommended following distance for a motorcycle behind a vehicle? At least 3 to 4 seconds, more in poor conditions. Motorcycles need time and space to stop safely. Never compress that buffer for any reason. Let's continue. Why do motorcycles need more following distance than cars? Motorcycles require careful planning to stop safely, and debris kicked up by vehicles ahead is more dangerous to riders. A pebble that bounces off a car windshield can take down a motorcycle. Distance is protection. Next point, what should a motorcyclist do when being tailgated? Increase following distance from the vehicle ahead to create a larger safety buffer. You can't control the driver behind you, but you can create more room in front to protect yourself. Let's move on. What is the most common cause of collisions between motorcycles and cars? A car turning left in front of the motorcycle at an intersection. This is the #1 killer scenario. Always cover your brakes and prepare for it at every intersection. Continuing, what should a motorcyclist do to be more visible at intersections? Cover the brakes, ride in the lane position most visible to cross traffic, and make eye contact with drivers. Visibility is your responsibility. Position yourself to be seen and always assume you haven't been. Next question. What effect does a full-face helmet have on peripheral vision? Minimal effect. DOT-approved helmets meet peripheral vision standards. A properly certified full-face helmet does not meaningfully reduce your ability to see what's around you. Let's keep going. What is the correct way to cross railroad tracks on a motorcycle? Cross at an angle of at least 45 degrees to avoid the wheel dropping into the track groove. A wheel caught in a track groove can throw a rider instantly. Angle your approach every single time. Next point, what surface hazards are most dangerous for motorcyclists? Gravel, sand, wet leaves, oil slicks, and painted road markings, especially when wet. Any of these can reduce traction to near zero. Scan the road surface constantly and adjust your speed. Let's continue. What is the safest way to handle a blowout on a motorcycle? Grip the handlebars firmly, ease off the throttle, do not brake suddenly, and steer gradually to safety. Sudden inputs during a blowout make the situation worse. Steady hands and gradual deceleration keep you upright. Next question. What should a rider do when approaching a curve too fast? Look through the curve, lean the motorcycle gradually, and avoid braking while leaned. Trust the lean and look where you want to go. Braking while leaned is one of the most dangerous things a rider can do. Let's move on. What is the risk of braking while leaned in a curve? The tires can lose traction and the motorcycle can slide out. Tires have a limited grip budget. Leaning uses most of it. Adding hard braking on top can exceed that limit instantly. Continuing, what protective gear beyond a helmet is recommended in Pennsylvania? A jacket with abrasion resistance, gloves, boots covering the ankle, and long pants, preferably with protective padding. Your skin loses the argument with pavement every time. Gear is the difference between walking away and not. Next point, what does ATG-ATT mean in motorcycle safety? All the gear all the time, meaning wearing full protective equipment on every ride. Not just on long trips. Not just on highways. Every ride, every time, no exceptions. Let's keep going. What is the effect of alcohol on motorcycle operation? Alcohol impairs balance, coordination, and reaction time, making motorcycle operation especially dangerous. A car driver who loses balance doesn't crash immediately. A motorcycle rider does. Never mix riding and alcohol. Next question. What is the BAC limit for motorcycle operators in Pennsylvania? 0.08%, the same as passenger vehicle operators. The legal limit is the same, but the consequences of impairment on two wheels are far more severe. Let's continue. What is the zero-tolerance BAC rule for riders under 21 in Pennsylvania? Any BAC of 0.02% or higher results in license suspension. For riders under 21, there is no safe amount of alcohol before riding. None. Next point. What is wobble or speed wobble on a motorcycle? A rapid oscillation of the front wheel, usually at high speed, caused by improper loading or tire issues. Corrected by gripping the tank with the knees and easing off the throttle. Do not brake suddenly during a wobble. Grip with your knees, ease off gradually, and let the speed drop naturally. Let's move on. What causes a motorcycle to weave at low speed? Improper steering input, slow speed instability, and incorrect body position, corrected by looking ahead and maintain smooth throttle. Low speed is where many new riders struggle most. Eyes up, smooth throttle, and trust the bike. Continuing, what is the recommended group riding formation in Pennsylvania? A staggered formation, with each rider offset in the lane, providing spacing of at least 1 second between riders. Staggered means more visibility, more reaction time, and more escape room for everyone in the group. Next question. What is the minimum following distance between motorcycles in a group in Pennsylvania? At least 2 seconds from the rider directly ahead in the same lane position. 2 seconds minimum in your lane position. The staggered offset gives you visual clearance. The time gap gives you stopping room. Let's keep going. What should a group leader do before a ride? Brief all riders on the route, signals for hazards, rest stops, and what to do if separated. A pre-ride briefing takes 5 minutes and prevents hours of confusion and potential danger on the road. Next point. What is the Pennsylvania law on motorcycle insurance? All registered motorcycles must carry minimum liability insurance, the same as other motor vehicles. No insurance means no legal right to be on the road. Carry it every ride. Let's continue. What is the minimum liability insurance required for a motorcycle in Pennsylvania? $15,000 per person, $30,000 per accident for bodily injury, and $5,000 for property damage. Know those numbers. They are the legal floor. Not necessarily enough coverage for a serious accident. Next question. What must a Pennsylvania motorcyclist do if involved in an accident with injury or property damage over $1,000? Stop, render aid, exchange information, and report to law enforcement. Leaving the scene is a criminal offense. Stop, help, and report, in that order, every time. Let's move on. What is the correct way to load a motorcycle for a trip? Keep weight low and centered, secure all loads, and avoid hanging bags that can affect steering. Poor load placement changes how the bike handles in ways you may not notice until a critical moment. Continuing, how does a passenger affect motorcycle handling? Adds weight, shifts the balance, affects braking distance and lean angles, requiring adjustment to riding technique. A passenger is not just extra weight. They change the entire dynamic of the motorcycle. Adjust before you ride. Next point. What must a passenger have on a Pennsylvania motorcycle? A DOT-approved helmet, a proper seat, foot pegs, and must be able to reach those pegs. If the motorcycle is not equipped for a passenger, it is not legal to carry one. Let's keep going. What is the correct technique for a quick stop on a motorcycle with ABS? Apply both brakes firmly and hold them. ABS prevents lockup and allows steering. With ABS, apply maximum pressure and hold it. The system does the modulation. Trust it. Next question. What is the purpose of the friction zone on a motorcycle clutch? The range where the clutch partially engages, used for slow speed control and smooth starts. Mastering the friction